We'll look at tonight's top stories. A California appellate court is siding with Governor Schwarzenegger's order to pay 200,000 state employees the federal minimum wage for an entire month. The move comes as the state tries to patch a $19 billion budget gap. The governor said he made the move because the legislature failed to pass a budget on time. State workers will be paid $7.25 per hour for the month of July.
The unemployment rate dropped last month, but there are fewer jobs to go around. The Labor Department reported this morning the unemployment rate fell to 9.5% in June, the lowest level in almost a year. But there are fewer jobs because nearly 250,000 short-term census jobs ended. Overall, the country has lost nearly 8 million private payroll jobs since the recession began.
And preparations already underway for the biggest fireworks display in the North State. A pyrotechnics crew is busy setting up more than 1,700 shells that will explode over Redding during the Freedom Festival. The fireworks will light up the night for 20 minutes starting at 10 at the Redding Convention Center. The event is free. For a complete list of fireworks shows across the North State, log on to our website and click on news links.
A new face is taking over at the Oroville Police Department.
But as Action News reporter Court Klopping explains, officials say they don't expect him to keep the position for very long.
In February, Perry Reniff became the interim police chief in Oroville. The former Butte County sheriff knew he wasn't going to hold the title long, just until the city council could find the right man or woman for the job. But so far, that's not been an easy task. They did narrow their choices down to 2, but neither worked out.
Some of the council members felt that the candidate wasn't what they wanted in a chief of police. And so ultimately, in a closed session when the council had that discussion, the final decision was made to go back out and do another recruitment.
At issue, money. It seems the $105,000 being offered isn't as attractive as it sounds.
Of those 19 candidates, you can bet that there was a number of them that did not want to work for the salary that the city of Oroville can afford to pay.
So the county had to come up with a new solution to replace the retiring chief by promoting Lieutenant Bill Lagrone on an interim basis.
He represents kind of the future of the department. Lieutenant Lagrone is intimately involved in the development of the budget for the police department. He oversees the patrol division. He oversees the personnel. So it was just a natural sort of extension.
They're asking me to step in on an interim basis and keep the department going in the direction in which it's going and to service this community.
He will also be involved in the search for his permanent replacement.
It's extremely important that the person that steps into this position understands how this community expects the laws to be enforced within this community.
Lagrone says he's going to make the most out of this experience.
You know, I'm extremely honored to serve this community. I was raised in Oroville. I'm part of this community. I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm excited to do the best possible job that I can do for this community.
In Oroville, Court Klopping, Action News.
Lagrone officially will start his new position at midnight tonight.
The Glenn County Grand Jury says the county should consider bringing in waste from other counties. The grand jury concluded that importing waste from other areas could help offset the cost of expanding the landfill near Artois. Last March, the county raised landfill fees from $30 to $70, and the grand jury says if trash isn't brought in from other counties, the fees may have to increase even more. The report acknowledges that importing trash from other areas could significantly shorten the lifespan of the proposed 450-acre expansion.
An unusual sight in Sutter County this morning after a big rig overturned, spilling a huge load of beer. It happened on Highway 99 near Garden Highway. Crews worked to clean up 22 pallets of Coors Light 12 packs. Man, look at that. A motorist apparently cut off the big rig, causing it to swerve. There are no reports of injuries, but CHP had to issue a warning for people not to stop to take the beer. Violators would receive a hefty fine for making an unlawful stop and for stealing beer.
After jumping off a cliff, a base jumper got stuck on his way down today in Norway. The jumper dove off the 2,600-foot cliff but got stuck about halfway down because his parachute opened the wrong way. After coming to a crashing stop, he found himself stuck on a wall shelf on the cliff about 1,000 feet above the ground. He suffered no major injuries but had to be rescued by a helicopter. After several attempts, rescuers were able to winch him to safety. We have a survival story to tell you about from Vancouver, Canada. Two teenagers survived a 7-story fall at this apartment building. The two 18-year-olds were watching Canada Day fireworks on the roof of the building last night when they fell down a 7-story shaft. They leaned against what they thought was part of the roof structure, but it gave way and down they went. A pile of recycling material at the bottom of the shaft cushioned their fall. The 18-year-olds escaped with cuts, scrapes, and a couple of broken bones.
Nothing spoils a 4th of July picnic more than spoiled food. Erica Edwards has tips on keeping your holiday cookout safe and healthy.
Whether you'll celebrate the 4th at the beach, the mountains, or in your own backyard, food is a big part of the party. But letting your burgers and salads sit in the hot sun all day can be a real party keeper.
If it's 95 degrees, nothing's going to sit that long. It's just not.
Experts say food is safest when it's kept either below 41 degrees or above 135 degrees, basically right out of the fridge or the oven. Allowing food to sit between that range of temperatures is an invitation for bacteria to join the celebration.
So if you were just slowly heating something up, you are just allowing all that bacteria to expand.
One thing you can do to keep food safer longer is forego mayonnaise-based dishes, which can spoil quickly. Chefs recommend using vinegar, like in a summery cucumber salad.
The vinegar will not only not go off in the heat, but it'll actually protect your food somewhat because of the acidity.
Also, a full cooler stays cooler longer. And when you are ready to serve lunch,
bring things out in small batches so that they get consumed quickly. It's not that difficult to keep things warm in a safe environment or cold in a safe environment, and bring it out as you need it.
Whole raw foods are another good bet, like watermelon or peanuts, anything that's not going to be affected by the heat. It's advised to keep your stomach from turning and your burgers flipping this 4th of July weekend. Erica Edwards, NBC 24 Action News.
Health experts also recommend washing your hands often during food preparation and using separate cutting boards for meat and vegetables to avoid cross-contamination.
It's hard to see, but you can certainly hear and feel the change in the atmosphere at the Butte Humane Society. As Action News reporter Britt Carlson shows us, the barking has been replaced with a little Bach and Beethoven.
The Butte Humane Society has never been accused of being the quietest place in the North State. But a new idea to play music through the dog kennels has lowered the volume of barking dramatically.
In general, when there's not a lot of activity and they have the music in the background and you're just not hearing them bark as much, just out of pure boredom.
You won't be hearing Snoop Dogg here. It's strictly classical composers like Beethoven that have proven to calm the pups.
Some of the research that suggests that music, especially classical music, played at soothing levels can result in more relaxation for the dogs and lower barking levels.
Now, of course, dogs are always going to bark, but the music really does have a silencing effect on them. When the dogs quiet down enough to actually hear it, it really works.
The musical edition came at no cost to the Humane Society. An XM radio system and a 1-year subscription was all donated by the company Invisible Fence.
With a quieter environment, people will like coming down here to the shelter more and be more likely to adopt a dog.
More downtime and a better chance of getting adopted is music to their furry ears. In Chico for Action News, I'm Britt Carlson.
See, if they got XM, they should do the watercolors one. That's my, or 70s on 7. Oh, whatever. The music.
I don't have it, but I trust you.
Oh, do. Yeah, they should try it. The music plays mostly in the exterior of the dog shelter, so they hope to add even more speakers to the inside. If you'd like to help out, you can call them at 343-7917.
How nice that was donated.
Yes.
Well,